You also said yesterday, Commissioner, that the investigation into the possible tampering by the Chicago Bulls and their sign-and-trade deal with the New Orleans Pelicans for Lonzo Ball and the Miami Heat and their sign-and-trade deal for the Toronto Raptors star Kyle Lowry, you said that that was ongoing. How important is it, though, to curb that behavior?
It's very important to curb that behavior because, again, all these issues seem related. That you need a state of a rule of law in this league where everyone understands what the rules are. If the rules don't work in operation, then we need to sit down with our teams and the Players Association and change them. But these are the rules at this time. In the case of your question, in terms of player contact, and teams want to understand that if they abide by the rules, there will be a level playing field. And so it's in everyone's interest, all of the teams, all of the players, that we have a level playing field, just like the competition on the court behind me. You know, everybody wants to know that when they're rooting for their team or they're tuning into competition, that everything is decided fairly by the rules. In the case of the game, on the floor, you know, in the case of player signings, fairly according to the collective bargaining agreement, and everybody's complying with those rules. And that's the league office's job. If there's a sense that there's something we need to look into or there's some aspect that's not being complied with, we investigate and look into it. And that's what's going on right now. Absolutely.
So very quickly, Commissioner, before I let you go, and I really appreciate the time, I'm hoping you can actually take off your commissioner's hat for just a second and help us celebrate the NBA's, there we go, the NBA's 75th anniversary. So who is your favorite player of all time to watch?
It's such an unfair question.
I know. Had to be a little unfair. Just pick one.
I'll pick one. I mean, it's not a secret. I grew up in New York, and I grew up a New York Knicks fan. And that 1973 team in particular is sort of when I was becoming of age. So I certainly remember that championship. I remember going to games with my father. I'd say a player that I was particularly fond of was Earl Monroe. And someone, in fact, that I'm still friendly with today. And most recently, I hope you talk about this on your show at some point, that 2 weeks ago, a group of New Yorkers led by someone named Dan Cloris opened up the Earl Monroe New Renaissance School in Bronx, New York. I was there with Michelle Roberts, the executive of their association. She's from the Bronx as well. And it's a school, believe it or not, focused on basketball, but not necessarily about future players, either NBA or WNBA, but focused on jobs like mine and yours as an opportunity for people who love the sport to find careers around it, whether it's being a broadcaster, whether it's working in marketing or sales at the league office, being a lawyer at the league office, being the commissioner one day. So I was there with Earl. He's and his wife, Malika. They're fantastic people. And I just say I'm thrilled that, to be talking about Earl as one of my favorite players of all time.
Absolutely. Earl Monroe, thank you so much for taking the time, Commissioner, and enjoy the ring ceremony tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.